Hi, everyone, and welcome to another member spotlight with the Audio Leadership Club. And today we're featuring Lynne Williams, and she's going to be talking about standout on LinkedIn. We're going to be doing live profile reviews and getting expert tips from Lynne. So I am really excited, and she's on camera today, everyone.
Instead of audio. Yay!
I know we're doing a mixture of audio and camera, but I am so excited to have you, Lynne. Thank you so much. And I love the fact that you're going to be doing live profile reviews. So for those of you who are tuning in, I ask for two things. Let us know that you're tuning in live and where you're tuning in from. And if you're interested in having a live profile review, just put review in the comments, and then we'll be mentioning it, throughout the event, so you can make sure you get that to us so we can do a live review with Lynne. So Lynne, I just want to say thank you so much for being a member of the Audio Leadership Club. Just to have your value, your expertise, I'm just so grateful. And I'm excited for today because everyone gets to see that live. Where are you streaming to?
I am streaming on the Great Careers YouTube channel, Facebook channel, as well as my own LinkedIn.
Okay, perfect. Well, you know what? I'm going to hand the mic over to you just to allow you to properly introduce yourself for those that may be brand new to who you are.
All right. Sounds good. So I am in the suburbs of Philadelphia, Paoli, Pennsylvania specifically, and I wear three basic hats. Hat number one is I write resumes, LinkedIn profiles, LinkedIn company pages, and I focus on keywords. Hat number two is I'm the executive director of a 501c3 nonprofit, and we provide online career education, mainly on Zoom, but we have an occasional in-person event, and we run about 18 to 25 events or more a month. So we're pretty active. And on April 7th, 2025, boy, that's just right around the corner. We are celebrating our 15-year anniversary on Meetup. So I'll show you some statistics just from the Meetup in just a little bit. So the third hat that I wear is I'm working on writing my doctoral dissertation on the topic of LinkedIn for job seekers. I don't have a personal website right at the moment. I'm working on building one. I figure after being in business 30 years, maybe I should have one. So I mainly am just using the nonprofit website, which is greatcareers.org for the moment. But my referrals come from happy clients and from writing and speaking. So I'm going to take you to my link tree now on my LinkedIn profile. So if you want to enable the screen share, then you'll know where to go to find a little bit more about me. So I need Amelia to, okay, is that sharing now, Amelia? There we go. Okay. So here is my LinkedIn profile, and right underneath is more gobsmacking resources. That is my link tree. So that's my link of links, and you can find everything you kind of need about me right here. The first one, which I'll take you to in just a hot minute, is the nonprofit. Then here's my upcoming speaking events, and also has my bio and topics I speak about. Here's Career News Today. That's my newsletter. Here's my publications. I've written over 300 articles, mainly about LinkedIn, but there's other career articles. There's a book, A Call. And then Amelia and I know each other from the Thought Leadership Branding Club, which I've been involved in for over 4 years. So it's thoughtleadershipbranding.club. And then I volunteer for other veterans and SCORE and business association organizations. So that's my link tree, more gobsmacking resources on my profile. So I mentioned about the 15-year anniversary of the Great Careers. Now, two gentlemen started the meetup in 2010, which is actually Philadelphia area Great Careers Group. And here you can see these are all the events that we've got going. And I did put on the Saturday, member spotlight because anytime I speak, we do cross promote. But I want to show you our pro dashboard. And this is only the meetup. This has nothing to do with our registrations on our website. So we've had 46,444 RSVPs. We've run 6,238 events. And on our meetup alone, we have a couple thousand more on our website, 7,351 people. So I'm really excited about our 15-year anniversary. So watch my post that's coming out on the 7th in the morning. A little bit about the Great Careers Group. We cater to job seekers, people who are client seekers, aka solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, employed people, underemployed, veterans, students, immigrant professionals, etc. So, just to give you a really quick tour of the website, here's the contact page, and that has all our socials on there. And then here's the events, and here's the events quick list. So this is a list of all the events that you can join in on. And we do have a small membership fee. It's the price of a cup of coffee a month, just so we can stay afloat as a 501c3 volunteer run nonprofit. So we do a lot of great things out there in the world. So, Amolia, back to you. That's my little recap of who I am and my links.
It's Well, thank you for that. And you know what? I love the fact that you wear several hats. And I see that we do have people tuning in. So I just want to give a shout out to Jay. Hi, Jay. Thanks for tuning in. If you are tuning in live, definitely let us know in the comments. Introduce yourself. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And then during this live spotlight, Lynn will be doing a live profile review. So if you're interested, make sure you comment review below. All right, Lynn. So I'm going to go into our questions because you have so much value and I cannot wait to hear
All
that. So I'm
right.
going to give you the main spotlight here, okay?
All right.
So, my first question to you, Lynn, you wear a lot of hats. Can you walk us through your journey and what inspired your path into career development and resume writing?
Yeah, I've pivoted, I think 6 times in my life. And I was a K-12 teacher. And then one day I was no longer a K-12 teacher. And I started seeking out how I can get help in the job search world. And that was 2013. And I was unemployed for 11 and a half months. And I kept going to all these different um, job seeker groups and meetings. And I thought, I'm a former K-12 teacher. I love this career education stuff. It's really fascinating me. And, all of a sudden, when I did land that W-2 job, which I had for almost 4 years, I was still, heading in mornings, evenings, weekends to all these different job seeker groups because I really found lots of value in networking and meeting people and learning. So, a couple years later, I volunteered to run a job seeker group under the Philadelphia area Great Careers Group. And then lo and behold, I didn't know it, but the two guys that started that meetup group, they wanted to unload the meetup group because they had other things that they wanted to do. So I started with 1,722 members, and now, as you just saw, I have over 7,300 members, and that's just the meetup alone. And then I decided that when I took it over, I wanted to build it as a 501(c)(3) nonprofit because I felt it helped community. And so that's what I did. I, did all the IRS state paperwork and put a board of directors together. And then a couple years later in 2019, we built a website, we built all the social media, and here we are. So it's pretty exciting.
I love it, and I love your growth. You mentioned you started from where to where now? I would love to get those numbers again.
1,722 members on August 4th, 2015, when I took over. Um, and now we have, let's see, go to my pro. We have 7,351 members just on the meetup.
That
So
is amazing. I just highlighted for everyone to see. That is amazing growth. Congratulations, by the way.
yeah, thank you. Thank you.
We do have a few more people tuning in, so I'm really excited. I do see Leslie Flowers in the group. Hi, Leslie. I appreciate you. I can highlight them here. We have a greetings from Leslie. Can you see the comments, Lynn?
Yes, I
On
can.
Perfect. We have Ronnie joining us. Hi, Ronnie, all the way from New York. Love it. Oh, Leslie, I didn't realize you're from North Carolina.
Oh,
And then we do have Jay. He put where he's tuning in from. So yeah, she almost forgot about the meetup. I love it. All right. Well, you know what? What you're doing, I feel like it's so impactful. And I feel like you touch not just entrepreneurs, but like you have that resume writing background as well. So, my next question to you is how did you come to lead the Great Careers Network? You kind of mentioned that, but
yeah.
where do you see it going and what is the main focus today?
So yeah, it's definitely evolved since the beginning of time when the two guys that started it they were just basically catering to job seekers. But I've been on the SCORE Speakers Bureau since 2013. So I also cater to client seekers. So we like to support solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, small businesses, as well as employed people and, and job seekers, underemployed. We have an immigrant professional career support group. Um, uh, Whatever anybody else is doing or not doing out in the world, we are not affected by any grants. That's why we have a small membership fee of a price of a cup of coffee a month. So we are a diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, accessibility, and justice organization. Everybody is welcome on our doorstep. Um, so I like to especially support under-resourced, I don't know, underserved communities who really need our help. We do an awful lot for free. Um, but of course, we love that and any support that we can get. But we do like to help people. I'd say the majority of people that come to us are probably boomers and Gen Xers because they understand that it's really important to network. We don't run webinars, we run live meetings. But we now co-promote whenever it is that I speak, and of course, when I speak for SCORE Los Angeles, SCORE Silicon Valley, SCORE Las Vegas, SCORE Jacksonville, and my local SCORE, that is pretty much an entrepreneurial crowd. So I, gear my topics and my presentations to the audience that I speak to.
I love that. And everyone earlier, we did highlight that Linktree link. I'll do that again so you guys can stay tuned to all of the events she has going on. Now, I want to kind of ask the listeners comment if you are a job seeker, currently employed, or self employed. And the reason why, because that goes along with my next question to you, Lynn. I'm just curious to see how everyone is using LinkedIn. So, how does your work support not only job seekers, but also those currently employed as well as self employed?
That's a great question. So as I said, I'm a little bit crazy. I've been in business over 30 years and I don't have a personal website right now. So my LinkedIn page really truly is my landing page. And by putting in the featured section a 1-minute video every weekend, I highlight the events coming up for the week, and those events do support job seekers, employed client seekers, etc. So, yeah, just head to the featured section, and you'll see that. And then that link tree, that very first link is the link to the nonprofit that I just showed you, greatcareers.org. And we update everything on the meetup, and we update everything on our events page on our website, so and social media, so people can access the different events no matter what platform they're typically on. So um yeah, we have a bunch of people that join us and get great value out of the tips and tricks from our subject matter expert speakers, and I will throw myself in the ring for that also. So I do speak, and mainly about resumes, applicant tracking systems, LinkedIn profiles, LinkedIn company pages, how to gain um, uh, uh, better headlines for LinkedIn, emails, blogs, um, how to do Canva. I do that workshop for Score. There's a bunch of different workshops that I do. So that's listed on my link tree under my speaking events.
Perfect. And I'm so glad I have you coming in to do a masterclass as well on LinkedIn, building the brand. So I am excited for that too. You just have so much knowledge to give. I almost think of you as a LinkedIn branding expert as well as like resume, because you kind of handle every component that LinkedIn has to offer almost to kind of really help them elevate and leverage the platform. So I know you're currently working on your PhD, correct?
It's an EDD,
EDD. Okay, okay.
Doctor of Education. hmm
Perfect. Why do you think LinkedIn is such a powerful tool? Because I know your dissertation is on LinkedIn, correct?
Yep, LinkedIn for job seekers.
Why do you think LinkedIn is such a powerful tool? And then how has your research been with that particular piece for your dissertation?
Um, Here's the crazy thing. In 2013, I didn't even know I had a LinkedIn profile, but I did. Somehow or another, I started it, and I had 211 connections. And obviously, that's not an awful lot of connections. Um, and I just wound up thinking, oh my gosh, I've got to meet people. I got to network. This platform is so amazing. I mean, it's going to, try to help me get a job. And I've really spent so much time listening to other LinkedIn speakers and reading and watching YouTube videos. And I spent a huge amount of time. And so, if you've ever read the book The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, he says once you've got 10,000 hours in, you will consider yourself a subject matter expert. Well, I'm there. I've been at this since 2013, and I've put a lot of time and effort into learning. Um, the first year was not by choice, because I was unemployed, so I had a lot of time on my hands. But if you think about it, here I am. I've been in business over 30 years, and I have evolved how I of what I offered in my business. Um, but LinkedIn is my landing page, and I'm constantly connecting with people to grow my network, and I have happy clients who refer me, and I love the feature in LinkedIn through the messages where people can make um, introductions, to their associates or colleagues or family members or whatever. So it's really been a fun journey for me. In 2016, I wrote a chapter in a book, which is on my LinkedIn profile. It's called Find Your Fit, A Practical Guide to Landing the Job You Love. Well, there were 15 other career coaches from around the country who contributed to that chapter. And the very famous Dick Bowles, who wrote What Color's Your Parachute, He sadly died in 2016 after he wrote the foreword for the book. Or sorry, he died in 2017, but he wrote the foreword for the book in 2016. So that was my research on the applicant tracking system and where I got off on a tangent about keywords. And because I'm a little bit of a WordPress geek and I, work on the back end for SEO and keywords, I kind of combine my keyword knowledge um, from the WordPress stuff, from the applicant tracking system stuff, and different things that I've learned on LinkedIn. And so that's why, my focus is just on writing resumes, LinkedIn company pages, and keywords. I don't do any career coaching on interviewing or salary negotiation or career assessment. I'm strictly a writer. So I do put out a LinkedIn newsletter every week, and sometimes it's for job seekers, sometimes it's for client seekers, sometimes it's for everybody. So if it's not pertinent to you for the week, just don't read it and move on to the next week. But I also write for 5 online news platforms: Vista.today, Montco.today, Delco.today, Bucksco.today, and Philadelphia.today. And he has over 120,000 subscribers. So I've been writing for them for over 6 years, which is why I have over 300 articles. And then I have to tweak those articles a little bit when I publish them on our nonprofit as well as my LinkedIn, so we don't, totally mess up Uncle Google and SEO. Um, but I do a lot of writing, and I have to build in that SEO for my articles. So the whole world of LinkedIn, I mean, basically, I created my own job. I left my job after almost 4 years, and I just fell in love with the career services industry, and so here I am now.
I love it. And I love that you mentioned like keywords. I know you're going to be covering more about keywords and how to do that on
Hmm.
LinkedIn within the masterclass on the
Yeah.
22nd of April. But
Hmm.
I am really curious to learn more about that because I feel like I'm also lacking on certain keywords and just to really know the power behind, using particular like certain type of keywords to really stand out, especially as an entrepreneur. You hear keywords for job seekers when, recruiters are looking for particular individuals for a position, but just
Hmm.
how as a coach or entrepreneur, a self-employed individual can really highlight and leverage those keywords.
Well, I don't give away all my secrets publicly. Those are reserved for clients
Absolutely.
who pay for those services. But I will absolutely provide a few tips and do some live demos at the April 22nd event.
Absolutely. And guys, she's going to also let you know how you can become a client during that event so you can get the full book. But we do have a question from some Leslie Flowers in the audience. I'm going to highlight it on the screen. She mentioned, what is your favorite workshop to present?
Ooh, um, I think I like the one that I'm doing April 22nd. Is LinkedIn tips to build your brand. It's comprehensive. So I know this is kind of crazy, but I teach 15 hours worth of LinkedIn content. 15 hours. So I started out doing a workshop: LinkedIn part one, LinkedIn part two, LinkedIn part three. Those were each 3 hours each. Then I did LinkedIn for nonprofits, strategic resources to build your LinkedIn brand. So I've evolved, but people um, don't always have a huge amount of time. So I think I recap the really important points for the one that I'm going to be doing here with Amelia on April 22nd. So it's an hour and a half, so you'll get a pretty good run for your money, so to speak, on that.
I love it. And I did see, I'm going to highlight Jay comment too. He was just mentioning, for me, LinkedIn has been powerful for networking, job seeking, and joining events and clubs. So I think we all kind of feel the same. We love how LinkedIn has evolved, right? It's
Hmm.
not just for job seeking, it's a real place where we can build connections and relationships.
Yes. Absolutely. And I loved last year being able to do LinkedIn audio. And, I now have Restream myself. And every month I do something called Careerland. And I did have a partner to do that with, and now it's just me that's doing it. So I'm going to do that on Wednesday at 3 o'clock Eastern time. It's always on the second Wednesday of the month. And I'm going to be doing a research for targeting your job search. So it's me doing, one of my presentations, but this one is going to be in particular for job seekers. But I'm also presenting this week to Score Los Angeles how to gain customers for a LinkedIn company page. Um, and tomorrow I'm doing LinkedIn profile reviews, but you have to be a paid member, your cup of coffee a month for our nonprofit to do that, as well as doing tips to build your resume. So, and then we have some other subject matter expert speakers. So, every week, every month, maybe not every week I'm speaking. Most every week I am though, but definitely every month I'm speaking, and generally, um, I do at least 100 presentations a year, sometimes more, sometimes twice that.
Wow. Then you have a calendar where everyone can follow all of these events, right?
Yes. Again, greatcareers.org. And then the very first tab under the events is for the quick list, and that has, everything in chronological order, kind of on one page. And then the events page will take you to the registration links. If it's an affiliate event, you'll have to read the first line in the description area. And if it's our event as the nonprofit, then you just click a +1 and sign up. And again, we do an awful lot for free. So, take a test drive.
So I want to ask, how do you sleep? Or when do you sleep?
I was so tired last night. I went to bed at 9:37 p.m. I was that tired. And I did wind up getting 8 hours of sleep because I got 4 hours the night before. But I am not an 8 o'clock in the morning person. I'm a night owl. So call me crazy. I will be in my office till like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, because I'm jamming. I get in the zone, and I get in like major productivity mode. But I'm still sleeping maybe at 8 o'clock in the morning, or getting up and getting ready. Um, but I do work 7 days a week. Call me crazy. I work hard because I Disney hard. Now I went to Disney World 5 times last year. I am a Disney nerd. My daughter has a Disney vacation club, and my second trip is coming up at the end of the month, and I'm so excited. I'm taking my 4-year-old grandson with my daughter. I have a second grandson who is 16 months old, and then another one who is on the way, due at the end of May. So I'm on call for emergency babysitting on Memorial Day weekend.
I love it. And I love the fact that you say I Disney hard. That's a great reason why. So,
Yeah.
so as we gear up to do the live profiles, and for those tuning in, I kind of want to just keep saying it. If you're interested in having your profile viewed live by Lynne, let us know in the comments. Just drop your LinkedIn URL, and then we can view it live. She give you live feedback. So before we jump into that, because I know we had some members from our community mention that they want theirs viewed as well.
Mhm.
What are the biggest mistakes you see people make on LinkedIn?
Oh, wow, that's a really great question. Not changing your banner, having the grayish greenish blobs, the default banner, not having a profile picture that is done by a photographer so that it's not grainy and it's good quality. Um, Not optimizing their LinkedIn headline, not optimizing their about section, not putting anything under their experience section, not having the right keywords. I mean, there's just too many mistakes that one can make. So yeah, there's lots of things to do. So when I work with clients, you know, I have a collaborative process. So I work with Google Docs and Google Sheets, and Google Sheets is where we do the keyword analysis. I have a color coded system. Um, and but the client is doing most of the work, okay, because only you can have your own aha moments. But I sort things from most to least. I sort things alphabetically, and then we come up with a list of the right keywords based upon the job descriptions um, that you want to apply to. But then, you know, there's different things that go on LinkedIn. So there's market filters on LinkedIn, and you have to use the words from the LinkedIn's database. Now, I'm not a job seeker, so, you know, as an entrepreneur, I'll call myself a teacherpreneur. I can do whatever I want, you know, on LinkedIn, but as a job seeker, you can't really do whatever you want. You kind of have to color in the lines of the of the box if you want to be found, especially by the recruiters and talent acquisition who are on the Recruiter or Recruiter Lite platform. But you know, you definitely can be found by keywords, um, and you might want to have different keywords in different parts of your profile than what you have to put in your skills section in the from the LinkedIn database. So there's different strategies that I use for different parts of the LinkedIn profile.
I love it. Well, if you like, we can dive into some profile reviews.
Okay. All right.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
So I'm going to enable your screen share. I did see I believe it's, I hope I'm saying this wrong. Can you see it in there? It's Ka- Katharina. Can you see it in our group chat with you and I?
Oh, yes, yes. I also saw Leslie Flowers and you mentioned Sean. Who do you want me to
Correct.
start with?
Let's start with Sean. We can do them in order.
Okay. Sounds good. All
All
right.
right, and I will enable that for you right now. And everyone, let us know in the chat if you can see clearly. I'm going to get rid of myself so it can.
All right. So, one sip of coffee to go here. There we go. All right. So, I don't know Sean, but Amelia mentioned him. He's in Guatemala. Okay. So, inner potential activator, empowering entrepreneurs, founders, coaches, and leaders to achieve more in life, business, and relationships, author of such and such. Okay. So, here you have an ampersand. You could have an ampersand right here also and pick up two characters. Inner potential activator. I mean, I guess you can call yourself whatever you want on LinkedIn, but I'm really not sure what that is. So, um, clarity to me would be important, but I'm looking at the banner. Reprogram your mindset to achieve more in your business, life, and relationships. Okay. Yeah, I guess I can tie the two together. Um, let's see. Let's go to his contact info. He's a second level connection, so I'm only going to see his LinkedIn URL. So that's the importance of putting contact information in the bottom of the about section. All right. So here we go. Looking at his about section, all right. So it looks like mindset and but maybe potential sabotage and whatnot. I love the fact that he has emojis in here, but I think he's missing out on adding contact information down at the bottom. So I'm going to pull up a good friend of who is also in the Thought Leadership Branding Club, Roy Kowarski. I did not do his profile, but I might have had something to do with his about section. So here, we've got a question. Could your business strategy use a boost? Here's ideal client, client's biggest needs, why promotional strategies are essential. So it's broken down by section, but this is really what I want to show you is this stack of contact links. So I think Sean could um uh you know do this in his profile so that people know how to get a hold of you. I believe that these hyperlinks work on an iPhone, but I don't know about an Android because I don't own an Android. But going back to, oh, let's see, I got to go back to Sean. Will it take me there? Okay, great. Um, Now I'm going to go down here and experience. Okay, so he has um, information here. This is hard to read. I would redo this and bullet point form and put white space in between the bullet points. And there's no information under co-chief executive officer. So, those are a couple little tips that I would put offer to Sean. I'm going to go to Leslie now. So I saw Leslie in the chat. Um, what a cool overlay there, with the bridge. I used to live in San Francisco. Okay, so Leslie has blazing a trail for the business leader, leveraging the laws of achievement and timeless success principles to create the aha moment for leaders and drive their professional and personal transformation. Okay. So again, the AND, you could use ampersands and pick up a couple spaces. And if you wanted to, you could add an emoji or two at the end. I don't know that you need periods, in a LinkedIn headline. And then here you have Fouquet, Varina, North Carolina. To me, I wouldn't do that. It doesn't matter where you are, you want to be part of a large metro area. So I don't know whether that's Charlotte or Raleigh Durham or what, but you want to go. Let me go to my LinkedIn profile and show you. When you are on the pen here, you go down to your zip code right here. So here's my zip code of my office. And I could choose Paoli, Pennsylvania, but I don't want to do that. I want to choose Greater Philadelphia. So that's what I would suggest for Leslie to change that to her large metro area so she doesn't peg herself in a little hole of a city. Now, this is too paragraphy for me. I'm not going to read it. My eyes are going to glaze over. Maybe a couple sentences at the top, and then break that down into bullet points. It really does make a difference in readability, and you've got some emojis in here. That's great, but I would also do that stack of contact links down at the bottom. I love that you have events highlighted here. Now, Leslie doesn't have a LinkedIn company page. It only takes under an hour to build a company page and put a logo in there. And we don't have a lot of details under there. But look at that, 20 years of experience. So that would be okay. Here we've got skills, 45 skills. You can have up to 100 skills. Now, I don't have up to 100 skills. You've ever heard of the cobbler and the cobbler's children and the shoes? Yeah, that's me. I don't take care of myself. I take care of everybody else first. But you can add more skills on, and I think I'm gonna have to do that to my profile too. All right, so let me get out of Leslie and then Katerina. All right, so here, Katerina has a picture that does not look like a professional picture to me. Um, I don't know about the banner. It's a little it's maybe a little bit too much text for me. Um, and the pink in the banner does not necessarily complement what she's wearing. So I think you need to, when you get a photograph taken, try to make your clothing and your banner complementary. Um, so I know, Katya is she lives about a half a mile from me, so I know who she is. Um, and I think, she needs to have work done on her headline, as a job seeker. So if she's helping CEOs and CPOs, um, to me, maybe that sounds a little more entrepreneurial than it does job seekerish, but we'll see. Contact info, because she's first level, she has her LinkedIn, her address is Berwyn, her Gmail, and so here on the phone number, I'm just not a fan of parentheses, and I think of that as old school being um rotary phone days. So I'm a dash girl. I would do the area code dash and the rest of the phone number. Her about section is uh, to me needs some more pops of color and emojis. If you take a responsive website like LinkedIn and you shrink it down to a mobile device, it has to be friendly to the human eye. It can't be all black and white paragraphy. And pops of color really help. And when you break things down into bullet points, you need to put the bullet points from a Word document. It's not a Google Doc. The bullets from a Google Doc become out like big black, huge circles. And I just don't think it looks as nice as the little more small petite bullet points from a Word document. Um, Here, she has stealth startup, but she has no details under here. And this is all very paragraphy. It's hard to read, if somebody wants to skim and scan with the human eye. And then here she has 98 skills, digital product development. I don't know if that's in LinkedIn's database or not. I don't know. Let's go see. I'm gonna go check it out now. Digital product development. So when I talk about importance of keywords, especially for job seekers, I'm gonna go down to my skills section here, and I'm gonna click on plus, and let's see if digital product development. Okay, it is in there. All right. I hadn't heard that one before. So you want to make sure that the word is in LinkedIn's database. I'll give you a really good example. SOP, standard operating procedure. We all know those three letters, right? If you go down here, there's no SOP. So you have to choose the first one that is standard operating procedure parentheses SOP in order to be part of LinkedIn's database for that word. So that's an example. Um, Anybody else you want me to review that just to give a couple tips? Oh, Leslie, I see Leslie Rosley Durham. Yeah, yeah, I would change that. Leslie, did you change that yet? Let's go back. Nope, not yet. Okay. Yeah, so you wanna change that to Leslie or to, Raleigh, Durham, so that you are not pegging yourself. I've never even heard of that city. I do wanna come down and visit North Carolina, though.
Can you hear me now,
I
Lynn?
sure can. Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. I was going to say for those that are interested in having their profile reviewed, make sure you comment. You can either just put the word review or post your LinkedIn profile so we can get that taken care of. And actually, Lynn, I would love to go on a chopping block. I feel like a lot of things that you
All
mentioned is
right.
some things that I need to fix, but I would love to hear your feedback because I love what Zakia mentioned is this is so fascinating to get another perspective. So thanks,
All right.
Zakia.
So I am working on finding time to redo my banner because I've had it for since last June. I had somebody make it for me, and you need to change. You need to keep changing things to keep it fresh. I got to get through taxes first, and and then I'll work on that stuff. But okay, so audio events queen. Ah, boom. I really like a keyword or a key title right at the get go before you get to that USP. So I like a key title, keyword, 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 and then the USP, unique selling proposition. So this to me is very clear. She's an audio events queen, and I love the crown. Okay. So LinkedIn business coach, podcaster, speaker. Yeah, this is all very clear to me. You have Detroit metro area. I go to the contact info. Uh-oh, there is no phone number there. Okay. But you've got your websites, and there's no email there. So, people who are first level connections, that's something that you could add right there. All right, going down the about section. See, we've got friendly emojis, pops of color, um, and not a lot of text, in paragraphs. I'm just not a fan of dense text in paragraphs. So I like this, but I think that you could really maximize and look at the bottom of Roy's LinkedIn profile and add your stack of contact links in there. Um, so let's see, where are we going? Down at the about section. Okay. This is something a lot of people forget. Down at the bottom of the about section, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can put 5 top skills in there. So don't miss out on that opportunity. Um, Now, here's a suggestion I have for you, Amelia. You're highlighting your post right now. Is that what you really want to do, or do you want to highlight your events? Okay. Um, I don't know, or videos. So you can choose to highlight any one of these things. I choose to highlight my newsletters because I spend so much time, writing the newsletters. Um, Now here, uh, if I go to the experience section, that takes me to her LinkedIn company page, which is really nice. But I don't see any details under, you know, um, want to be a guest, want to join the club, give me more as to the details as to how I can connect more with the audio leadership club. Um, and, this is very clear, but it's short and sweet. Um, like, I like metrics. When I deal with job seekers, I wanna see metrics in every single bullet point, and the bullet point should be no longer than 2 lines long, otherwise it becomes too paragraphy. But you need to have a metric in each and every bullet point. So I do have permission from a couple people, to bring up their profiles. So here we go. I'm going to bring up Christy Callahan. She is a job seeker, and she's in marketing, and she just earned her AI and machine learning certificate from MIT last fall. But she just got involved in moving, so she's laying low for the next couple weeks, unpacking boxes. You know how that is when you move. But here, digital marketing, saying what she does. Here's a bunch of other keywords, and then here's her USP, marketing at the speed of AI. Here's her about section. Um, so, little opening here, and this is like standard stuff I do at the top of a resume. Um, and then strengths include expertise in known for. All right. Then she's got some career highlights, icebreakers, and contact info. She's a little bit different here than what I might do in other people's profiles, but I want to take you down to show you her tech stack. So if we've got any fellow geeks out there, this might be a good thing to take a look at. So here she has some specialties. Those are some keywords. And here's the tech stack. So I like it broken down horizontally if you are a big into different IT platforms. So here's analytics, CRMs, content creation, machine learning, etc. And then down in her bullet points, you have bullet point, white space, bullet point, white space. It's so much easier for the human eye to skim and scan, but it's got all the metrics in there. So it's there for the bots to read, but it's easier for the human eye to skim and scan. And you'll notice there's no periods at the end of those. Now, I'll show you another tech stack from another person that I have permission to bring up. Here's Bernadette. And project management is a way better word than project manager when it comes to searchability and hits on LinkedIn as well as Google Trends. And so then here we have all the other keywords she wants people to know about: expertise in cross functional team leadership and strategic enterprise technology deployment for project success. So that's her USP, her unique selling proposition. So here we have network deployment project manager, expertise in, strengths include, known for. I like icebreakers in LinkedIn because it tells people a little bit about who you are above and beyond, um, your business persona. So if you had soccer in there, oh, do you play soccer or do you like to watch soccer? And what's your favorite team? So it's a way of allowing somebody to reach out and build rapport, take an interest in you on LinkedIn. So here's a tech stack. So she is a tech stack that's a little bit shorter, but it's still methodologies, project management software. Um, and then here is a list of core competencies. So these might be words that are important to her, but are not in LinkedIn's database. So this is a great place where you can put um, uh, some keywords. And then seeking new opportunity, hashtag ONO, hashtag open to work. And then, your contact info. And again, here we go with the bullet point white space, bullet point white space, metrics in every single one. Now, I want to show you like putting keywords in and making yourself memorable are really important. So I'm going to do an example of the word oink, well, just like a pig. Okay. So if you have the word oink in your profile, and let's say I met somebody at a networking event and I know I connected with them on LinkedIn and I know the company had something to do with pigs. So I'm just going to put in oink. So it's people. And I'm going to go search first level connections. Ah, there it is. So here, empowering small business with comprehensive digital solutions, web development, graphic design, branding, and marketing. Huff and puff and blow that old website down to make your branding oink. I did not write his profile, but I might have made a suggestion about the oink to put in the headline with the little piggy snouts. So if that just made you smile or laugh, that's exactly what we want to try and do, is to have your profile headline memorable, and do something that's a little bit off center or a little bold. So that's my 2 cents worth, and I'm going to turn it back to you, Amelia. I'm not hearing you.
There you go. I realize I have to pop up. I'm just talking
There
to
you go.
There I go. No, I was saying thank you so much for the great advice. I would definitely go and make those tweaks on my LinkedIn profile. I was going to say Did you have time for maybe one more? I did see Zakia
Sure.
post yours, and then we can kind of answer a few of those questions, and then we can let them know more about the
Sure.
master class.
Okay, Zakia Ringel. Let me see if I can find. Okay, Zakia, GGOLD. Okay, there you are. Oh, I am first level connections with Zakia. Okay, so Zakia, all of this on the right in your banner, it's really tiny for me to read on a desktop. So I can't imagine, my over 40 eyes. Well, we could actually make that over 60 eyes. Um, how difficult that would be to read on a mobile device. So I would, you know, maybe take that off and stretch out the rest of this information, because it definitely has a cool look to it. Um, and put that stack of contact information down at the bottom, the about section. So here we've got empowering small business through media, community, and tech to build purpose-driven growth. Founder of Natural Soap by Zakia. All right. So you could again use the AND, make that an ampersand, and then change your Lansdowne, Pennsylvania to Greater Philadelphia. And if I go contact information, there's no phone number here. So if you're worried about having your phone number on your LinkedIn profile, go to voice.google.com and set up a free Google Voice account. Okay, so here, monthly tech community call, great. About section, um, mm, maybe stop this one at growth and then break today and make that a separate section. Um, the fact that she's got all these broken down into bullets, to me, that's like much easier to consume than it is if it were all one straight paragraph. But I would put the contact stack link stack at the bottom. Here she's highlighting events. I like that. She's got a LinkedIn company page. Okay. So that's great. Oh, that LinkedIn company page needs a banner, Zakia, right here. So that's 1128 by 191 pixels. Okay. So you could make that in, quickly in Canva. So partnering with learning leaders and business owners to craft unique virtual and digital experiences that drive results. Okay. Um, Now, it might be nice to put in, served over 100 clients, grew whatever. Give me metrics. Even entrepreneurs want to know metrics. Like, how did you create impact? How did you help somebody move mountains? Um, yeah, I know you're not doing chop anymore, but um, you could still um, add bullet points to these. It makes it, I don't know what it is. It just makes it much easier for my human eyes to consume than having it like paragraph form. 44 skills, job aids. Okay, so this does not sound like what you're doing now. So you may want to review your skills and add new skills. Um, And by the way, in case you all are not aware, when you go down to your skill section, every time you add a new skill, it's going to push down all your existing skills. So if you click on this little pen and then you click on the three dots and you click reorder, you can take these hamburgers and move them around. So you want to move the top two. So if I did resume here, I didn't know what I didn't know back in the day, and I got endorsements on resume, and then, I realized it's resume writing, okay? So, that's why resume writing and LinkedIn training are at the top. Those are the 2 that I want to highlight, so when people see the top 2, that's what I want them to see, okay? So you want to get the skills that are pertinent more to you. So you've got um, media, community, tech. Um, so you would have to go in and look for those keywords that relate to your business and make sure the top two are on the top. I hope that helps. Back to you, Amelia.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Lynn. You know what, Zakia, if you have any more questions, I would recommend reaching out to Lynn directly. Same thing, everyone else. If you have any questions regarding your review, definitely reach out. And for those, because we're at the 12 o'clock mark, I don't want to take up all of your Saturday. I would say make sure you attend the master class April 22nd at 2:30, and that way you can get the rest of your questions answered and get more value from Lynn. And before we leave, I really want to highlight a few of your QR codes I created for you today so they can know
Awesome.
how to reach out. So again, I'm going to put on the screen right now. This is the QR code for the master class for April 22nd at 2:30. I do love it. It's 90 minutes, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So 90 minutes of full value. So if you want more LinkedIn tips and how to leverage your brand on LinkedIn, definitely make sure you scan that QR code and sign up. It is free. This is a free masterclass brought to you by the Audio Leadership Club. Now, the live event is free, but the replay is offered only to those within Lynn's private community as well as those within the Audio Leadership Club. So if you're not a member, make sure you join either one of our communities to get access. All right, now, if you're not connected with Lynn on LinkedIn, make sure you scan this QR code and become a first connection. She is definitely someone you want to be connected with. And then one of the cool things, I love bonuses for those that follow me. I was like, yay, bonuses. So here's a complimentary one-on-one discovery call. Again, if you are tuning in through a mobile device or you missed the QR code, I will definitely put all these links in the comment section for you. But scan the QR code if you're interested in a complimentary one on one discovery call. And that way she can really get a feel for your needs and assist you one on one. And then, of course, here is her link tree with everything. She did go over that in the beginning, so she does have a lot of great resources because she wear a lot of amazing hats. So make sure you scan this QR code to get access. I believe it's like her newsletter and just a few other, all of her events actually, and a few other
Hmm.
things she have going on. So thank you so much. I have truly enjoyed spotlighting you today. This has been amazing. Oops, someone scanned your QR code, so that makes me happy. I love Restream. It lets us know who's engaging, right?
All right, all right. Yeah,
All
I thank you so much for having me today, and I look forward to April 22nd. Now that I've got the link, I will add that to my meetup, to my website, to our socials, etc.
I love it. And for those of you that are tuning in that is interested in the Audio Leadership Club, if you want to join this amazing group of leaders, we do have a waiting list. But when you attend our event live, I'm going to let you know a little secret. The QR codes is usually direct access as a thank you. So if you were to scan the QR code, you can actually skip the waiting list and join us immediately for tuning in to Lynn's Member Spotlight. So thank you, Lynn, so much.
All right. Well, thanks for having me. For those of you who are unaware, Amolia is in the Detroit metro area, and I was born in Michigan. So I am a Michigander by birth.
Oh, I love that. You know what? Hopefully, I can get you back because I really want to do a Metro Detroit in person networking, like a live networking event. So I know
All
if you're
right.
familiar, I know you're familiar with Christopher Johnson,
Yeah.
Brenda Meller. We're all in this location. So if I can get us all, that would be amazing. I actually just met Bobby Umer in Toronto over the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went up to Toronto a few years ago and met Bobby in person, and then Bobby came to New York City, and we had this amazing tour at LinkedIn. Um, and then I think Bobby is running a LinkedIn Live in Toronto in May, maybe 14th. And if so, I've got that blocked off on my calendar. I will be, go into that. So if you plan well in advance, months down the road, by all means, it's a 12-hour drive from Michigan from me. But I would love to go visit my relatives. It's been a very long time since I've been back.
I love that. Well, we're definitely going to have to get that started. I love the fact that we too have a LinkedIn headquarters out here too. So
Mm,
we're going to get that taken care of, hopefully in the warm.
awesome.
It's too cold in Michigan right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sounds good.
All right, Lynn, well, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. And make sure to tune into more events of the Audio Leadership Club. We actually have 4 master classes coming up and some more member spotlights. So stay tuned.
All right. Have a great weekend.